All right. Well, once again, my name is Molly. I'm in the sales department here at RSP. I have Hannah with me, who's in our marketing department, who will be helping out answering questions in the chat and letting people in and things like that. So if you have anything, feel free to jump in the chat. You can also just, raise your hand and let me know. I'm happy to help out with anything. So let's go ahead and get started. Uh, Let's start with a little bit more information. Here at RSB, we've been around for about 28 years. We have over 5,000 five-star reviews across the different review platforms. So check out whichever review platform you like most and see what they have to say about us. Today, we'll be mainly talking about our target farming. That's kind of like our flagship product. It's patented. It's designed to increase your listing inquiry leads. And we know how much everybody loves those. Um, we do have some other like postcard products and things like that, and you can find those all online. Two of the things that everybody loves about us is the data we provide. We provide our agents quite a bit of data to find an area near them that'll be good to farm, that'll produce what they're looking for. And we also provide your potential clients quite a bit of data with the market analysis that we do send out. And then we automate a lot of the processes. To make it easy for our agents. We use human automation, but we do automate a lot and offer that concierge level of service. So it's a really easy process and you can focus on selling. Now, with our services, when you pick a neighborhood, it is your neighborhood and your neighborhood alone. So we provide that exclusive territory for you. Since we're raising you up as the neighborhood expert, we want to make sure we're just raising you up as the neighborhood expert, you and you alone. And then I mentioned the data we provide as far as helping you find a good area near you. So we use tax roll and MLS data to target the most qualified prospects to get you in front of the people you're looking to get in front of. We take into consideration where you've had success before, where there's a good turnover rate. If there's a dominant agent, we steer you away from those types of things. And then I mentioned that concierge design and delivery. We need to, or we provide a marketing assistant to you who's going to be your main point of contact here at RSP. So they'll help with any of those design details that you want to change. If you want to change a background picture or move anything or anything like that, we handle it from there. You just let us know. You just let us know what you want to change. We also scrub all your lists for you. So we scrub out people on the do not mail list. We scrub out vacant properties. We scrub out LLCs and trusts, but it's a custom scrub. So if you want to leave trusts on or anything like that, we're happy to do that. And usually we scrub out people who bought their homes in the past year. Let me show you what we mail out. So here it is. This is a sample of what we mail out. It's 8.5 by 11, and it folds there where you see the Kingsview market update. It's a nice thick paper too. It's a 110-pound paper cardstock, and it's got a little bit of a shine to it, so it's good product. And I mentioned it folds here. So this is the front of what they see when they pull it out of their mailbox. The background photo, we have like a couple thousand to choose from. But if you have something local, like a neighborhood sign or, some scenery that you want to feature, we're happy to do that as well. I do like that we always make sure to send it to the first name, last name of the homeowner that we're mailing to. So it's not going to say anything generic here, like postal customer, current resident. We make sure to get that first name, last name in there. And then, of course, their address. This is the back of what they see when they pull it out of the mailbox. We write this paragraph for you, but if there's anything specific you want to include, let's say you're farming your own neighborhood and you want to say, hey, neighbors, I've lived here for 20 years. You might recognize me. Anything like that, we're happy to include. Just let us know if you have a listing coming soon in the area, anything like that. Now here, of course, we put your contact information. If you have any QR codes of your own, social media handles, anything like that, we're happy to include. And then this map, I'm coming back to this map. Let's go check out the inside. So this is the real like meat and the potatoes. This is what everybody loves about our market analysis and what we're sending out in the target farming campaign. It shows all the recent sales of the area. We do list price, sold price, price differential, days on market, painting a picture for anybody who knows they're putting their home on the market, right? They have a big life event coming up, something like that's happening. This really tells them what to expect when they do put their home on the market. And being the one providing that for them is very valuable. I do like that we put the neighborhood name on here as well. I know a lot of places are subdivided. In my area, we're very subdivided, and I relate so much better to the neighborhood name than the address alone. So down here at the bottom, we have space for 3 featured properties. By default, we'll put your last 3 MLS events. But if you don't have anything that really you want to feature here, we can use anything of yours or anything of your agencies. And the other part is, if you don't have anything you or your agency you want to feature, we're more than happy to put this map down here at the bottom. So we'll make sure to use the space well. Now back to this map. The little blue home you see there is the actual home we're mailing to. So they should recognize where they are in the neighborhood, on their street, and the solds around them. So it's custom to each individual mailer that we're sending out. With that, if they scan the QR code or go to the website, myhomes.com, and enter the code for their specific house, we skip trace their information for you and we provide you with their name, their phone number, their email address, as well as their physical address. So you can follow up as you see fit, right? So you can put them in your system, put them on that email drip campaign, whatever works best for you. Our part, we'll put them on a drip campaign where we send them a postcard a week for the next 6 weeks with all of your information. They're all real estate themed postcards. There's about 8 different ones currently to choose from, but they'll have your face, your contact information on there, which is a real neat follow-up. We do know, because we love our data, so we know that anybody who scans that QR code or goes to the website is 5 times more likely to put their home on the market in the next 90 days. So they're good leads to have. Here's what the website looks like. We provide a best estimate and a range, of course, because we want to give them a little bit of information, but we don't want anybody to fall too in love with these numbers. We really want them to call up you and say, hey, come tell me what my home is worth. So that's the goal of this, right? Here we provide a Google Street View, and of course your headshot will go here, as well as all your contact information. When they click on any of these buttons, we'll get that information to you almost instantaneously as well, because we know that's a high intent individual at that point in time if they're filling out additional questions. And then down here at the bottom, we say, hey, this is generated by a computer algorithm. It doesn't factor in special features. You really need to call your agent if you want to know what your home is worth. Now, is there any questions? Does anybody have anything they want to ask about what we mail out or the home estimate website? Okay, feel free to throw them in the chat too. Hannah is definitely answering those questions as well. So with that, the market update goes out every 60 days. So we find that's a good cadence for most areas where it's often enough where they're getting excited for it and looking for it in their mailbox, and we're still providing some new information for them, right? So when they open it up, they're not seeing the same solds every time. We can do every 30 and we can do every 45 if that works better for your area. We do have a 6 mailing commitment. So if you stick with the standards, it's usually about a year commitment with our target farming campaigns. And then we talked about the real-time lead capture. So if they scan that QR code or go to the website, we provide you with their name, their phone number, their email address, as well as their address. That follow-up drip as well, which we call our fast track follow-up, where we will send them a postcard a week for the next 6 weeks, real estate themed with all of your contact information, all of that. So we always want to go over this. Is farming right for you? Farming is definitely a long-term investment. Most of our agents see their first listing between the fourth and the eighth mailer. A lot of them see it on that first, second, or third, but between the fourth and the eighth, we see that uptick activity, and most of our agents are seeing their first listing then. Of course, consistency is key with all marketing. Sending these out every 60 days, you're really building that trust. They're seeing you, you're building that brand as you want to. Mhm. And follow up, of course, is always required with all marketing. The other thing I like to talk about is the type of leads that we provide. With lots of lead generation, you get overwhelmed with a ton of people that you're picking up the phone, you're calling 200 people, you're trying to find the one or two that might be interested in buying and selling their home. With our system, it's a lot different because most of the people are going to be picking up the phone and calling you and saying, hey, come take a look at my home. Tell me what it's worth. So it's those listing inquiry leads that most agents are looking for. Mhm. Now, of course, pricing is the next step. So we do have a $39 monthly fee that covers your marketing assistant, your exclusivity, all the websites that we have going on, all of everything that's happening in the background that you don't have to worry about anymore is covered with that $39 fee. Now, each of the reports are $1.24, but there is an increase in postage coming that will change that to $1.28 per report. So with that 300 report minimum, $1.24 each with or $1.28 coming up, with 80 cents of that being postage. So we have a 300 report minimum and a 6 mailing commitment. So let me show you what that pricing looks like a little bit more how we bill. So this is what it looks like month to month, right? We have that $39 monthly fee that gets you in, that gets you started. We start taking a look at the areas you chose. And getting your headshot, all of your details, make sure that we verify all of that. That $39 monthly fee is totally refundable for 2 weeks. The commitment really starts when we go to print with your first mailer. Usually that happens 3 to 4 weeks after you sign up. But if you want it to happen quicker, I've seen it happen as fast as 10 days, and we can also hold it up to 60 days. That's what this looks like. And remember, there is a 4 cents increase coming per report. Now, at this point, I'm going to jump onto our website, rspusa.com, and take a look at some areas. You guys are all more than welcome to follow along and enter in your own zip codes. Look what's near you. rspusa.com. There's a button here that says, I already know where you want to farm. I'm going to use my old neighborhood in Arizona, 85044, but of course, use your own. And it'll bring you to our farm selector page. So explore exclusive areas. I always recommend that you identify yourself on this step, just because we can factor that in where you've had success before, where you've had a lot of sales, things like that, really help us recommend better areas for you. So always identify yourself if you can. I am not an agent, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select an agency there. And of course, we're just getting some information into the algorithm to figure out what works best for you, right? So I'm going to stick with single family homes in this area. I'm going to go from 450 sounds like a good bottom price range. That's where I want to work. And I'm going to go to 1.5, I guess. Now, driving distance. This is just basically, we're going to pick out this address that we enter down here is going to be our center point. And then the driving distance is going to create a radius around that center point. And we're going to look at all the areas inside that circle to see what works best. So I'm going to go 813. Yep, 12813 South 38th Street, Phoenix, Arizona. And from that, I'm going to look at 5 miles around there to look at the top 50 areas within that 5 miles. So here we go. I'm going to skip that. So right now, the top 50 areas of 234 analyzed that fit within these filters are showing up. Here's Ahwatukee Custom Estates, landed as number 1. There's 105 single-family homes. It's 1.3 miles from that base location, that address I put in there. The average price is $578,000, and it's a 6.3% turnover rate in 5 years. So here you can see everything has points. That's our way of helping you identify what you like, what we like, and why we like it, just in a quick glance. You can go ahead and click on that and see why we liked what we like. So for this one, it had a 6.3% turnover rate over 5 years. The average of everything we analyzed is 3.2%. So a higher turnover rate suggests there are more listings to come. And then this one is in the bottom third of the price range I put in there because, of course, everybody likes to make more money. So we give points for being in the higher end of the price range that we put in there. So it got 1 for that. It analyzed if there's a dominant agent. So if somebody has 30% or more of the listings already, we take away points because that's an uphill battle, and there's plenty of areas nearby where we can be that dominant agent. All right, and then the number of units has got 1 point because it's only 105. It's a decent sized one. With more units, our statistics are more reliable, things like that. And there's more units, it's easier to stay focused. And then agency market share, the agency I chose did not have a strong presence here, so I got 0 points for that. And the distance from the base location, I got 4 points from that because it's pretty close to that address I put in there. So that's kind of what we're looking for here. I'm going to go ahead and put in a couple things into the cart, and this will pop up when you do. So that tells you you've reached that 300 minimum. And you can take a look at that. But along with the top 50, if you have like a neighborhood in mind that doesn't show up on that top 50, you can always go to the zip code selector and find the zip code you're looking in. So we'll pull up 85044 again. And just take a look at what's going on there. So here we go. What's number 4? So this is Ahwatukee FS19. I can click in here and see the details of it as well. So I can see, let's say I want to double check that, see if there's an agent in there that doesn't necessarily have 30%, maybe they have 20%. That's still really valuable information for me to know. So I can go see who's listed and sold for the past couple of years in this area. There's a couple of names popping up a lot, so definitely something to keep in mind as you choose an area. And down here, this will show all the addresses in that area. Okay. So with that, once you choose an area or you're satisfied with what's in your cart, I'm going to throw this one. Oh, that one's 382 homes. So right there, I have 709 units selected, some from the top 50, ones directly from the zip code. But you can go ahead and lock in your farm on your own. We do have a promo code for $10 off the monthly fee for the first year. So if you do want some help and looking to get that, just let me know and we're happy to give that to you. But then you're more than welcome to check out on your own. Or also, I believe Hannah put our calendar link in the chat. Me and the sales team here would be happy to walk through anything that I've gone over so far today or any of the areas with you and make some recommendations. So we're happy to help however we can. Now, are there any questions about our farm selector? Okay, is there any other questions? I'm happy to help.
So when you pick the area, when you pick the houses, is there any probability, I got on late, so I apologize. But are there any probabilities of them selling in the future? or is it just go by competitors, other realtors? How do you pick the list?
Well, one of the big things that we look at is turn rate because we know because neighborhoods kind of like have a life of their own. People move in when it's built, and then they move out. And the next generation starts moving in, things like that. So we know where the turn rate is higher. It's going to continue to be higher, right? Because of the life cycle of that neighborhood. And some neighborhoods have a completely different life cycle. Like I know my neighborhood is by an Air Force base. So I know we have a really high turn rate here because a lot of people are moving in and moving out because of that. So there's a
Right.
lot of factors that go in. And we found that we don't want to get too far narrowed down with that since there's so many different reasons why people move. Right? The house in this neighborhood that I used as an example here. We only lived there for 2 years because my husband got transferred across the country from Arizona to Florida. So you don't want to miss out on some of those opportunities as well.
Well, that's why there's other companies out there that have these sophisticated algorithms or whatever it's called, with the probability of people moving.
Hmm.
You don't do any of that. You just have the
I
old.
mean, we don't and we do, right? Because we look at what's going on in the neighborhood in a higher level than maybe each individual house. We also think of it as like an actual farm, right? You've got to plant enough seeds. Some of them aren't going to find a good home and develop roots, but you got to plant enough seeds.
Right. Okay. Very
Hmm.
good. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
Molly, someone asked in the chat, what is agent success rate with this?
Oh, so there's a lot of things we can measure with success. One of my favorite things is, okay, let's go to our home site. One of my favorite things to look at is right here. And I wish we would put this like huge across everything because I feel like these numbers are great. We're not a huge company. We have about 1,500 agents farming with us, but 250 agents farming with us won 413 listings in the past 60 days, totaling 358 million. And so this is live. This changes weekly because I always pull it up and look at it. I love to see that success. Also, year to date, we're already over $1 billion of listings generated by our agents in their farms. So I think that's definitely something to look at as far as our success. Every agent's different and every area is different. So there's a lot we can't say, and we can't guarantee a lot of things. But some of these are all agents who have had success with us and who like our services. I always recommend going and checking out what their experiences were like and seeing what they have to say about us. That'll give you some real world perspective about what we are offering and what that looks like. Mary, I see you have a question.
Yes, how do we determine what the turn rate is for a neighborhood?
How do we, so we compile with our selector here, we've already done that work for you, right? So we compile the MLS data, the tax roll data, and that's what we use to figure out that turn rate. I do like the zip code view. It doesn't really have our opinions about what's good or what's bad about it, but it does show you the 1-year turn rate and the 5-year turn rate. So you really get a good idea of what's going on in the neighborhood.
Where is that on the screen?
Oh, can you not see that? No. Here, let me zoom in a little bit. So on each of these cards right here, whoop, too far. It says like add area, Awatuki Custom Estates is number 2, 105 homes with the average price point, and the turnover rate is 19% over 1 year and 6.3% over 5 years. And then, of course, if you want to see details, you're more than welcome to verify our data here because it shows everything that has been bought or sold there in the past year.
Well, that answers my question. Thank you. I couldn't see those cards.
Oh, I apologize. Now, all of this information is available on our website, so you're more than welcome to go take a look and just play with it too. Now, I do always recommend that, you hang out with me for a half hour, 45 minutes, and We can always take a look together. Okay. Any other questions? Awesome. Well, once again, our link is in the chat, as well as the book of free consultation is all over our website. Always feel free to book a free consultation. Let them know that you heard it in the webinar, and just we're happy to help. Let us know what we can do.